swallowed your morning medication with a hot cup of chai, a cold glass of orange juice, or maybe right after a really delicious, spice-heavy meal? I mean, it seems completely harmless, right? It's just breakfast. But, well, I'm here to tell you that there are actually some pretty surprising hidden hazards lurking right there in your daily routine.
Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into a fascinating secret from the medical world, the fact that what you eat and drink can completely hijack your medication. It's called a food-drug interaction. And honestly, whether it's rich traditional foods like milk, ghee, and turmeric, or just universal staples like fruit juice, your diet might accidentally be throwing your medications entirely out of whack. We're talking about either blocking them from working entirely or dangerously magnifying their effects. All right, let's quickly map out our roadmap for today. We're going to cover morning traps with tea and dairy, ghee and fat-soluble drugs, spices and enzyme hijackers, universal fruit juice fails, protein in the brain, and finally, some really practical medication takeaways you can actually use. Okay, kicking things off with Section 1, Morning Traps, Tea and Dairy. Or, as we like to call them, the traffic jams and sticky traps hiding in your breakfasts. So, let's say you take your daily iron pill right after a cup of black tea. What is actually happening inside your body? Well, black and green tea contain these natural plant compounds called tannins. To really wrap our heads around how they work, imagine your medication is trying to get into an exclusive nightclub, which in this case is your bloodstream. The tannins in the tea act exactly like aggressive bouncers. They literally grab your medicine right at the door and physically throw it out before it can ever get inside the club. Why does this matter? Well, if you're taking iron for anemia, for example, and constantly washing it down with tea, you might just keep feeling exhausted and weak, totally wondering why your pills aren't working. And you guys, the impact here is absolutely staggering. Drinking green or black tea at the exact same time as an iron supplement can reduce the iron your body actually absorbs by an incredible 70 to 80%. You are basically just throwing the medication away. Which brilliantly illustrates our next morning hazard, the sticky trap of dairy. Milk, yogurt, cheese, paneer, they are all loaded with calcium, right? Well, this calcium chemically interacts with certain antibiotics like tetracyclines and even thyroid medications. Think of the calcium acting like a giant magnet. It snaps onto the medicine molecules in your stomach, clumping together to form this massive boulder. And this boulder is simply too big to pass through the walls of your intestine, so it just gets flushed down the toilet without ever fighting your infection.
Because of this sticky trap, dairy can block 50 to 80% of some antibiotics from ever entering your system. And hey, beware of the modern loophole here, because calcium-fortified almond milk does the exact same thing. If you've got an infection that's just lingering, your breakfast might actually be the culprit.
All right, moving on to lunch. Section 2, Ghee and fat-soluble drugs, the slippery slide to supercharged absorption. Imagine you eat a really heavy, traditional meal totally drenched in ghee right after taking a strong, fat-soluble prescription pill, like certain anti-parasite or antifungal medications. You are fundamentally changing how that drug works. See, while milk blocks drugs, ghee, which is almost pure fat, does the complete opposite. It supercharges absorption. Ghee acts like a VIP fast pass, or a greased-up slip-and-slide. It bypasses the usual slow lines of digestion in the stomach and lets the drug slide effortlessly and rapidly directly into your bloodstream. Now, if your doctor didn't intend for this, pushing way too much of the drug into your blood all at once can be really dangerous.
But here is a super fascinating historical fact for you. Ayurvedic medicine has actually used this exact trick intentionally for thousands of years. They use ghee as a highly effective vehicle, which they call an anapana, to literally force herbal medicines deep into the body's tissues. It's a remarkably powerful mechanism as long as you actually know it's happening. Next up, Section 3, Spices and Enzyme Hijackers. We're looking at turmeric, fenugreek, and garlic. Spices have incredibly strong biological effects. Think of your liver as a highly efficient recycling plant that shreds up medications so they can leave your body safely. But what happens if a patient on a prescription blood thinner, like warfarin, decides to start taking highly concentrated turmeric extract capsules for their joint pain? Well, it acts like dropping a massive delivery of thick cardboard right into the system. It completely jams the shredding machines. And because the machine is jammed, the actual medications you took can't be cleared out, so they pile up dangerously in your system, which, by the way, could lead to severe internal bleeding. Or if you mix diabetes meds with fenugreek, your blood sugar could severely crash. Now, what's wild is how spices interact with each other. Traditional Indian curry powder uses turmeric and black pepper together for a very specific reason. The piperine in the black pepper actually blocks your liver from clearing the turmeric, which ends up boosting the turmeric's absorption into your blood by a staggering 2,000%. Make no mistake, spices are powerful chemical agents. Which brings us to Section 4, Universal Food Fails, Grapefruit and Orange Juice. The hidden mechanics here are just fascinating.
Grapefruit contains compounds that literally attack your body's garbage men. So if you take cholesterol statins with it, those statins don't get taken out to the trash. Instead, they build up to toxic levels that can actually cause severe muscle breakdown. On the flip side, washing down your morning allergy meds with orange or apple juice changes the locks on the doors to your bloodstream. They block the transporter proteins that pull drugs into your blood, leaving your allergy meds stuck outside, meaning you'll just keep sneezing all day long.
And you can't just wait an hour or two with grapefruit either. Just one single glass of grapefruit juice can completely mess up how your body handles medication for up to a full 24 hours.
Okay, it is dinner time. Section 5. Protein, cheese, and the brain, also known as the brain blockade.
When a Parkinson's patient eats a heavy meat and lentil dinner, all that protein breaks down into amino acids. Imagine those amino acids in their Parkinson's medication, like levodopa, trying to get into the brain like two people aggressively trying to squeeze through a single turnstile at a crowded stadium at the exact same time. It just doesn't work. The protein pushes the medication out of the way, the medicine never gets inside the brain, and sadly, the patient's tremors will return.
And what about enjoying a fancy wine and aged blue cheese platter for dinner while you're treating depression with older antidepressants known as MAOIs? Well, fermented foods and aged cheeses contain a substance called tyramine. When tyramine mixes with MAOI antidepressants, your blood vessels constrict. This interaction is so notoriously famous in the medical world that doctors literally call it the cheese effect. It causes a sudden, massive, and potentially fatal spike in blood pressure.
Section 6. Practical medication takeaways. So, the crucial point here is, what should you actually do differently? We've seen all these hidden hazards, but the good news is you are entirely in control of how you take your medicine.
Here are 3 highly actionable solutions you can start using today. Number 1, the 2 to 4 hour rule. Look, you do not have to give up your favorite milk, chai, or orange juice. Just change when you consume them. Take your medications, wait 2 to 4 hours, and then enjoy your dairy or tea. This gives your body plenty of time to absorb the drug first. Number 2, water is the undisputed champion. When it's time to swallow a pill, plain water is the only universally safe liquid. It dissolves the pill without adding any sneaky chemical traps. And number 3, spices are food, not always safe supplements. Enjoying garlic, ginger, and turmeric in your daily cooking is perfectly fine. But taking highly concentrated supplement pills, that is a totally different story. Always check with your doctor first.
Which brings us to our final thought. Armed with all this new knowledge about the bouncers, boulders, and slip and slides happening right inside your stomach, are you ready to rethink your daily medicine cabinet routine? Honestly, just a simple glass of water and a little bit of strategic timing might be the secret to letting your medicine actually do its job. Stay curious, stay healthy, and thanks so much for exploring this with me today.